I cried for like 3 months straight. I would just be like walking around crying.
Aside from being a rapper, producer, and big influencer in the music industry, Sean Diddy Combs is also a huge family man. He and his 6 kids have been known to stick together through the good and the bad. The kids are growing up fast, and you'll never believe what's going on with all of them. This year, Diddy hosted the Billboard Music Awards, and he brought almost his entire family with him. 5 of his 6 kids were there along with their grandmother, Diddy's mom. And it was really great to see because they all just looked so good and like such a happy family. But what have all of them been up to, and how are they really doing? Let's take a look. Diddy's twin daughters, Delilah Starr and Jessie James, are really growing up fast. They'll have their sweet 16 this year, and even though they're still in high school, they've already made quite a name for themselves in the fashion world. Delilah and Jessie have been walking down the runway since they were just 7 years old. With the help of their mom, Kim Porter, who was a supermodel herself, they've been learning about the industry since such a very young age. I honestly can't wait to see what they do in the future. Their sister Chance is just 5 months older than the twins. And the 3 of them really aren't just sisters, they're best friends too. They're together all the time, and Chance definitely keeps up with her twin sisters when it comes to fashion. The 3 of them even sometimes all coordinate their outfits together for a public appearance. Diddy also has 3 sons who are all older than the girls. The youngest, Christian, also known as King Combs, is 24. King has been following in his dad's steps and really getting into the music industry as a rapper. Most recently, he released a single called Can't Stop, Won't Stop, which is apparently inspired by his dad. He even named the song after a phrase that Diddy is often connected with. You might remember both of Diddy's oldest sons, Quincy and Justin, from the reality show My Super Sweet 16. Since then, Quincy has been kind of a jack of all trades, going into music, acting, and modeling, and he really seems to be doing well for himself in the world of show business. As for Justin, he graduated from UCLA in 2016, where he had previously sparked a bit of controversy over his football scholarship. Back then, people were saying that Justin maybe isn't the best person to receive the scholarship when his family is already very rich. But Justin actually seems to be pretty determined to step out of his famous dad's shadow and do things himself. This might also be the reason he didn't show up to the Billboard Music Awards earlier this year. After all, the Combs family basically had a family reunion at the BBMAs, and maybe Justin doesn't really want to be associated with that publicly. Could Justin's relationship with his family actually be turning sour? From the information we have, that doesn't really seem to be the case. Justin has hyped up his brother's single, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, on his Instagram, and more recently, he even shared a video from Capri where the whole Combs family went on vacation. So it really doesn't seem like there's any drama going on between Justin and the rest of his family. Maybe he was just busy during the BBMAs, and we don't really know the reason why he didn't go. Diddy's family really seems to stick together through the good and the bad, and it hasn't always been just good for them. They've been through some pretty rough times after Kim Porter, the mom of the 4 Diddy kids, suddenly passed away in 2018. Diddy and Kim got together in 1994 and had an on and off relationship until they finally split for the last time in 2007. Their son Quincy is actually Kim's son from a previous relationship, but Diddy adopted him and helped raise him since Quincy was just 3 years old. Diddy and Kim then had Christian in 1998, and then the twins, Delilah and Jessie, in 2006. They split shortly after that, and at the time, Kim shared that the reason they split was actually because Diddy cheated on her with Sarah Chapman, who is actually Chance's mom. Sarah gave birth to Chance just 5 months before Kim had the twins, so you can really imagine that would have been a lot for any relationship to handle. Diddy and Kim actually stayed really good friends after they broke up. They still took care of their kids together, and even though they weren't in a relationship anymore, they still had a lot of love and respect for each other, which is something that you really don't see that often. In November 2018, Kim became very sick at what first seemed like the regular flu, soon developed in pneumonia, which eventually led to Kim's passing. This was a devastating blow. Kim was pretty much loved by everybody, and her loss hit the family pretty hard. Diddy recalls that in the difficult times that followed, he had to change the way he handled his family life entirely. Before, he had been working too hard, and even though his family was really important to him, he maybe wasn't paying enough attention to his kids because of his work. But after he heard the devastating news, he knew he had to step up. Taking care of the kids was the priority, and it was really important to Diddy that the kids would hear the sad news from him first. So he had to make sure that none of them accidentally found out. He recalls how the first thing he did was call the girls' school and how he had Christian's phone disconnected so that he wouldn't read the news on the internet while he was on a flight. He also had to get Quincy, who was off on set at the time. After that, according to his own words, Diddy jumped into mommy mode. All the things a mom usually does for her kids were now up to Diddy, and he really stepped up to it. He says that the loss of Kim has really brought him closer to his kids. Now his family always comes first before work, and even though the start of the story is tragic, it's great to see a dad be there for his kids, and Diddy says this is really all thanks to Kim. One night when Kim was sick, Diddy called to check on her, and you'll never believe what she said to him. To this day, Diddy remembers the exact words she used. She asked him to take care of her babies, and he didn't realize it at the time, but it was almost like she knew what was about to happen. The first few months after Kim's loss were really difficult for everyone in the family. Losing someone you love is one of the hardest things you can go through, and all of these kids had to deal with that at such a young age. But Diddy was really positive about it all. He was determined to do a good job and make Kim proud. And thanks to that, they seem to be doing really well now. According to Diddy, Kim's passing brought them closer and made them love each other even more. He says it was thanks to her love that they were able to get through the difficult times and grow stronger as a family. And they really are a big family now, together with their kids' grandparents, Kim's friends, and even Justin and Chance's moms. You can really see Diddy's love for his family coming through in his work as well. Last September's issue of Vanity Fair had a photo shoot of him with all 3 of his daughters looking spectacular, and recently he actually released a video on TikTok and Instagram titled "I Love My Family," featuring most of his kids. Even while hosting the BBMAs, Diddy spoke about how much he loves his family. In an interview, he said that for him, the night was all about love and forgiveness. He believes that no one is perfect and a lot happens to everybody in life. That's why it's important to forgive people for their mistakes. But what do you guys think about Diddy's family? Do you agree with his message about forgiveness? And which of the kids is your favorite? Let me know in the comments.